so y'all better catch. I got big dreams, you walk talk, when I walk, that's that big drip. When I slide down your block, now they pissed off, like I really give a oh. I got big sauce, so y'all better catch up.
What is the big old deal? We are back cracking for another reaction. You already know what's going on. It's your boy. Now check it out. We got Wallo from $1 million worth of game, man. So the other day, a video leaked of him making some comments about black businesses. Now, these comments, this video leaked, and a lot of people, a lot of people are not feeling it. A lot of black platforms and stuff like that are not. They didn't take a liking to what was being said. So yeah, man, we about to go ahead and get into this content. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's go.
Black Twitter and podcasters who represent Black Twitter are calling for Wallo to be canceled over comments he made that are currently going viral. Now, these comments stem around his relationships with Black-owned businesses.
I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a out there. Kill that. How? Either you got a good business or you don't. All that. Nobody want to hear that. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material good? Come on. Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people. No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah, man. What color you is? I'm spending my money. Y'all got the paper? I'm gonna spend the millions where the I want to spend it at. Brothers, Porsche, Ferrari, I'm gonna do what I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be finessed off some black. But one thing about it, 70% of you is not going to make it. I'm not no motivational speaker that talk this. I'm the number one in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I made millions and I made millionaires, baby. You understand? I come from the ghetto.
Sounds like a whole lot of truth to me, man. If you're wondering, Flacco, what exactly did he say wrong?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, me personally, I didn't take nothing wrong from that. From what he was saying, what I got from it at least is, have consistency, have quality, and obviously starting out, a lot of times the black businesses don't, they don't get the upper hand like other races, like the Asians, the Armenians and Indians and all that type of stuff like that. Like, they don't get, like, black people do get it a little bit harder when it comes to business, but at the same time though, you can still make sure you bring in quality, service, quality customer service, and your product or whatever it is your business services are. Make sure that it's consistent, and you don't gotta be, and I feel like people will spend with you. Now, what he was saying, and one other thing he's saying is, like, don't feel entitled, like I gotta spend money with you just because you black. I get it, but at the same time though, other races do that though. Like, Chinese people will spend with their people just for the simple fact because they're Chinese. I know that for a fact because I've talked to people, whether it's expensive or not. And then white people do the same thing, and so do Asians. I mean, did I just say Asians? I mean Mexicans. So do Hispanics. So I kind of get both sides, but I don't think that he said anything wrong. Because I seen that clip, but we're going to see. Let's go.
Go to somebody else because I don't know what he said wrong, bro. Sounds like a whole lot of truth. Yo, if I'm going to give you my money, the transaction has to be mutually beneficial. If I'm giving you my money for some food, the food has to be good. If I'm giving you my money for some clothes, the clothes has to be quality. If I'm giving you my money for customer service, the customer service has to be good. I have to leave satisfied. And that's all he's saying. I'm not just supporting you strictly off of you are a black-owned business. When there's a business next door that does a better job, cut it out, bruh. And a lot of these things are based on perspective. So from my perspective, I don't think he's talking to the black-owned businesses who are doing a great job, who are on their stuff, who do have a great
Exactly.
business, who do have quality that they're giving you in exchange for your dollar. Now, when we want to have the conversation of if a black-owned business is bringing you quality, is bringing you the same thing that you can get from somewhere else, but they're doing it just as good, well, that's a conversation. That's a very uncomfortable conversation we will have about who do you choose. But for the sake of this conversation, we won't go there. Now, people on Black Twitter are having a blast with this Wallo video. They're leaving
And check this out. I feel like if you gonna all right, just like he was saying, you want to make sure you have quality, services, quality customer service, quality product, because it's almost like that's like me going to the barbershop, a black barbershop, and then he cut my hair, and I was like, man, look, since you black, you know what I'm saying? Like, can I, well, no, that's a bad analogy. That's a bad analogy. Yeah, that is a bad analogy. But that I agree with what he's saying though. Like, I'm gonna go where the service is, who's doing it the best. And in a sense, that's kind of challenging. It's challenging you to come correct, because a lot of people want, they want the soft spoken, and they want you to say what you want to hear. But it's like, no, if you gonna sell shirts, but your shirts is like the quality of the t-shirt is trash, and I'm buying from you, but and everybody buying from you, how you gonna know that you need better quality? Feel what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be real with ourselves here. Like, if you're gonna get into the clothing, yeah, okay. Just because you don't assume, just because I look like you, that I'm supposed to spend money with you. No, like, make sure you and I feel like in a sense this is kind of like holding our people accountable, because it's like, okay, if you're gonna cook, make sure the food is cooked. I'm not paying for no $20 plate to get some nasty ass food, to get a basic meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I want you to, you better put your foot and put both feet into this food. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you if you cutting hair, nigga, I better have this motherfucker better look real spiffy. I'm paying $40 to get my hair cut. I don't want my shit cut pushed back. You know what I'm saying? Lined up, lopsided, tapered, like not really tapering. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. All I feel like he's doing is just challenging people to make sure that they bring quality and not feel. He's getting rid of entitlement. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't support your people, but support your people that are actually bringing you quality, though. You know what I'm saying? That actually take it serious, that actually care about the customer service, that actually care about the product that they giving to you. That's more respectable, because it's gonna make me want to shop with you. You feel me? Let's go.
reactions, quote tweets, and they're going off on him. One user will say that Wallo has been tap dancing for years. A user who goes by the name of Big Malcolm X Play Cousin will write, Wallo and Gilly have been tap dancing for years. Not once has Wallo attacked a white corporation or demanded a perfect experience from them. Dr. Amos Wilson.
But if you think about it, see, that's an ignorant comment, though. I get where he's trying to say, but at the same time, though, most of the stores that we go shop at, when you go to that mall, when you go to that Amazon online, when you go to these online stores, who you think own these places? And you continue, when you go to that Target, that Walmart, that Ralph's, them grocery stores, who you think own that? So why would he have to demand a perfect experience when you've been buying from them your whole life, and your parents, and so on and so forth? There's no reason to demand a good service or a good experience, because we already shopping at these. When you go to the liquor store, you buy that bag of chips. Who you think own that bag of chips? When you buy them policies, you feel me? Who you think own that? When you buy that carton of milk, who you think own that? You ain't complaining about it, because we constantly buying it. We constantly giving our money to everybody else. So it's like, that argument is kind of weak and watered down to me. But I get the sentiment. I get what he's trying to say, though.
warn us about these blank black capitalists. Wallo is directly speaking to the businesses who want you to support them strictly because they are black-owned businesses. There's not a white corporation who says, hey, support me because I'm white. Usually it's implied you're going to pick the best experience from the corporation, that gives you the best value for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one user will even take the video and he will call out Wallo for the hypocrisy.
So Wallo made some strong comments. He's talking tough to a room full of quote unquote black people. I mean, just talking tough, said he is not going to be finessed off no blacks.
You sound sensitive. He wasn't talking tough. Just because he raised his voice and talked with authority, that's not talking tough. Because he didn't threaten nobody. He just said what he ain't gonna do.
He ain't gonna support no black businesses just because they owned by somebody black. He ain't gonna be finessed on no black. But I think out of his own words, when he got out of prison, he was finessing black people. And I'm pretty sure, who was you selling those t-shirts to, my guy? When you say you was buying them for $5 and selling them for $20. And you say they were gilding t-shirts too, that really cost $1. So who were you for?
I mean, that's not a finessement though. That's just making a return on your investment. Obviously, everybody does that. When you go to them grocery stores and they buy those stuff wholesale, when you go down there to the district out there in LA, you feel me? The fashion district, you feel me? You buy some shirts. You might get them for, you know how many people buy and how many companies go to these fashion districts and these wholesale stores and they buy stuff for the wholesale price. It's called buying for a wholesale. And you sell it for a retail price. When you go to these supermarkets, when you go to Walmart, you buying that food or them t-shirts and all that stuff like that. Guess what? They're paying a fee, a wholesale price to get those products in there. And guess what they're doing? They're gonna double up on it because they gotta make their profit, and they also have to make a return on their investment. You know what I'm saying? So whatever they invested, they gotta make that back plus extra profit. Profit on top of that. Like, what is this dude talking about? That's not finessing. That's just called business. Everybody does that. Like, you could tell he don't know what he's talking about.
Finessing. Who were you selling those t-shirts to? Who were you asking to support you? Who? And how long did those t-shirts last? Was your customer service? Did you go to training for your customer service? I'm pretty sure you did.
But this doesn't refute Wallo's point. All
Exactly.
this proves is, yeah, you shouldn't have bought the shirt from Wallo for $20 if you could go down the street and get the same shirt for $5. Whoever bought those shirts from Wallo got finessed and got hoodwinked, but that doesn't take away from the point that he's saying, which is, yeah, you should not be finessed by this. It's a black business scam, and you should go and buy that shirt for $5 if it's the same quality shirt that band is trying to resell you. Now, one person in particular that had a deep dive on this that I definitely want for us to review and do a deep analysis on is Rachel Lindsay. She is Van Lathan co-host of the Higher Learning Podcast, a podcast that I watch every week. Now, she takes a more sinister approach when it comes to Wallo, and here's what she had to say.
I'm hoping that I disagree with everything he said. Let me just put that straight up. I'm hoping that there's more context to it because I'm trying to understand where this came from and why.
The context was in there.
I don't understand him screaming at an audience and basically almost saying black businesses aren't shit.
See, and that's like you listening to respond. You're not listening to understand. He didn't say nothing. He never said black business ain't shit. He said I'm not buying from just because you're like the only check mark on, the only thing on the checklist, let's just say the only thing on the checklist is like, I'm not solely gonna just buy just because you black. He didn't say I'm not gonna buy because you black. He said I'm not gonna buy just because. That can't be the only criteria. It also, you gotta have, is your customer service good? If you know what I'm saying, do you got quality products? Is your service good? You know, like, and those things got to be checked off too before I just decide to buy from, because otherwise I'll just go down the street. And to that other dude, if he decides, and a lot of times people take mistaken like passion for aggression or like somebody, because he's not yelling. You know what I'm saying? He's just passionate about what he's talking about. That's all. And when men get passionate, we kind of, our voice might raise a little bit, because we speaking with conviction. He not one time was he putting down black businesses. That just be people listening with their emotions and listening to just to respond instead of actually listening. Take away him being loud and yelling, as you would say. Take that away out the equation, and pay attention to the message. It's just that simple.
Okay, so he's a very passionate guy. So when Wallo speaks,
What I just say?
That's
he's a very passionate guy.
I'm a
That's what I
passionate
just said.
person too.
That's probably why he was screaming.
I'm a passionate person too.
You are.
But it basically sounded like he was saying, and this is my first time listening to it, that he was basically saying black businesses ain't shit. And don't expect me to lift your shitty black business.
See, you're putting words in his mouth. He didn't never say black businesses are shitty. He never said like all black, like you just inserting your own feelings versus what it was actually said. I don't like that. Like spinning a narrative, like your perception. That's why I always say it's perception over perspective. He's giving you a perspective. She's talking about perception. Yeah, you perceive that because that's you internalizing it. That's crazy.
Business up. I understand if he's speaking in terms of you can't expect your business to be successful by only saying I'm a black owned business and therefore because you are black, you need to support my black owned business. If that's what he means, I understand that.
Okay.
But the way that he's yelling in this context and basically saying, I'm not going to support you just because you're black.
Upgrade your vocal mix from this
So
to this.
So you say you understand. She says she understand him. But then because he didn't say it the way she wanted him to say it, then that means it don't mean all of a sudden now it doesn't mean the message ain't what the message is no more. Now all of a sudden now it's, oh, you're not uplifting black businesses and you're saying all black businesses are trash because your voice is right, because he raised his voice a little bit and he's talking passionately. That just dismissed the whole message because you just said in one breath, oh, I understand what you're saying if you're saying this. But because you're yelling, then that means you're saying black businesses are shitty. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
I like Rachel, but it tickles me seeing industry people have to give honest opinions, right? Because they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Usually it's very easy to sort of pander to a particular base. And usually the people you like fall on the side of that base. So pandering to them and pandering to your base is usually the same thing. But with situations like this, where somebody who's usually on the side of your base or, who's pro your pander, like with seeing that person now, they have a drastic opinion that goes against your base and who you pander to. Seeing these industry people have to give honest opinions tickles me, bro. Because, you see how much they're struggling with it, bro. You see, bro, again, not just Rachel, because there's other people I've seen as well where it's, I hope, man, no, nah, bro. Y'all in these YouTube streets with us, bro. It's time to criticize our own. I can't be the only hater on YouTube, bro. Somebody got to be a hater like Flacco. I can't be the only hater on YouTube, bro.
I think Flacco is crazy.
So seeing these industry people have to give real opinions. Oh, okay. This is what I like. Now, shout out to Van Lathan, because I do think Van Lathan is a hater like me, bro. Van Lathan don't care. Van Lathan gonna give it up. All right, he burned bridges all the time. He don't care. But with Rachel, when she says, I hope he's saying don't support a black business if the black business isn't giving you good customer service. Well, that's exactly what he's saying.
Exactly.
And then she says, oh, I hope he's not saying don't just support a business because they're black. That's exactly what he's saying, right? That the business being a black-owned business, yes, some consideration for the business, but 95% of the consideration should be what is the value that I'm getting for this business?
Exactly.
What is the value that I'm receiving back?
And like I said earlier, that's challenging. People like for some reason black people just hate challenging. Like they want people, like they don't like to be challenged. They just want everything easy. And it's like all he was doing, all I got from that was basically like tough love. Like, look, nigga, I ain't finna just all right, this is a good analogy right here. Let's just say you born into a wealthy family. Your pops is a millionaire, right? And because he's a millionaire, when you of age, now you feel entitled that your dad is supposed to fund your life, and your money, his money is your money because you're his child. Like, no, you gotta create your value. You gotta put in work too. You're not finna just because I work hard for this. You ain't entitled to my money just because you're my son or you're my daughter. Especially, I mean, obviously, yes, you're entitled to, as far as being taken care of until you're of age to take care of yourself. But after that, you're not entitled to my money. I don't gotta give you nothing. All I gotta do is make sure you have what you need. As for anything extra, hey, good luck. You better figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you. I'll support you. But at the same time, no, you're not entitled to this, just because you my child. No. You gotta put in work. You know what I mean? You gotta, create your value and your wealth too by yourself as well. So like that's like the same thing what he's saying is like, all right, I'm not finna just invest into you solely because you black and you look like me. Like you gotta take it a step further. Make sure you bring in quality product for me to invest in.
And that's
there's
all
nothing
this
wrong
is
with
about.
that.
So what Richard
Making
Williams
sure
is
you
saying,
on your
I hope
P's
he's
and
not
Q's.
saying don't just support a business because they're black. That's exactly what he's saying. And he will be absolutely right for that.
I feel like when people say support black-owned
I'm not
businesses, that's not
playing
what they're
anything.
asking for.
Popping up.
Okay, you want me to say something? I'm listening
Yeah,
to you.
I mean,
It's
like,
Rach time.
no, this is all I have. This is my first time listening to it. I didn't listen to this. I didn't hear this before. It sounds to me this clip sounds so anti-black. And it
No, it
so
don't.
seems to me to miss the whole movement around support black businesses. It's, hey,
This Wallo clip is the most pro-black clip I'd have ever seen.
Exactly.
What's more pro-black than telling black folks, listen,
Step it up.
take pride in your business. Take pride in what you are putting out there. Take pride in the product that's representing you. And if you take pride in that, we got your back. We're going to support you. We're going to ride for you. But to the other business owners who give black folks a bad name because they come out here with bad product, bad customer service, everything is bad, and they want us to support it and put our dollars in it, and now those people are represented in the same market as the good business.
Shout out to Carly Smith. Nah, I'm not on no game. I'm not on any game right now. I don't even play games like that.
Nah, bro. Cut it out. Y'all go to the back of the line, bro. I think that's as pro-black as it gets. I don't see how that's anti-black. It's anti-black to tell black businesses, hey, bro, if you are doing well, if you're a business with great product, we're going to support you. If you're not, you can't get my dollar, bro. Listen, bro. At times I wonder, bro, do Rachel believe the things she say, or do Rachel know that her audience would like to hear this? Because Rachel probably knows, bro, like the black Twitter will probably eat this up, right? And in about a week or so, we will forget this bad take and move on to another take. But if she pisses off her demographic and her audience, you know what they're going to do? We done messing with you, bro. All right? We not supporting you no more. Opposed to, if you got to sacrifice yourself, give a bad take and still please that base, and then we forget about your bad take in a week, then so be it. But this right here to me is just dishonest, extremely dishonest.
Sometimes for me, for example, I said on this podcast one time and I was like, I don't know the list of Black businesses out there that are at Target or at Walmart. When we were talking about DEI, and we were talking about Tabitha Brown, and we were having that. And then people flooded me with, hey, there's an encyclopedia or kind of a Bible of Black businesses and how you can support them and find them. They're not saying, I just, when I listen to this, it just sounds so anti-Black. The whole movement is, hey, you might not be aware that you can get these same products from Black businesses and you can support and uplift them because they might not have the marketing the same way. They might not have the money or the capital. They might not have the support in the same way some of these white-owned businesses that we're more familiar with do. So support these Black-owned businesses, not just because they're Black, but because they have legitimate and quality products.
Man, at the end of the day, man, anything is possible. It's so much, especially because you have the internet. You got to do your research, man. We got access to so much stuff. So you can get, in today's time, it is way easier to get things done versus back then, before the internet. You could literally order, they got places all over the world that can fit your budget for, like, if you want to start a clothing line. There's plenty of manufacturers that they got websites where you can literally they have quality manufacturers. Matter of fact, I just made a sweater not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Very high quality, good, and the printing is dope as hell. Everything is high quality. So it's like, where there's a will, there's a way. A lot of the time, man, Black people are the biggest consumers. That should tell you that, I mean, yes, I'm not gonna say that everybody got it like that, but I will say this though: where there's a will, there's a way. That same $10 you spending on some weed, that $20 that you spending on that eighth, you know what I'm saying? That little, you know what I mean? That little food, that little money that you spending, the little $30, $40, $50 to go eat out somewhere, you could be putting that same money, putting it away to where you can invest in yourself into some quality stuff. It's a lot of different factors, so we can't just blanket statement like that and make it seem like like everybody is don't got it like that. It's like, no, what are you doing? You probably not doing something right. That ain't the circumstance for every single body though, man. Some people are just not like, and if you don't know about marketing, if your marketing is not the best, well, you got the internet, you got YouTube. It's so easy to obtain information. If you feel like where you buy your t-shirts from or where you get your merchandise from, it is not quality. You can literally go on Google, type in, where can I find higher quality merchandise for cheaper, that's more affordable. It's like, come on, man, it's so many avenues now. It's like almost impossible to have an excuse, unless you literally are being, what you call it? I forgot the word for it, but let's go.
When I listen to Wallo, right, it sounds.
Co-producer is going to give you unique sounds that actually fits your track in seconds. Let me show you.
What it sounds like and what it is
First,
two different things.
It sounds like he's anti that.
I don't see how you get that from what Wallo said. I don't see how anybody would get that from what Wallo said. So Van Lathan decided to step up, okay? So Van Lathan says what we are all thinking. That's exactly what he's saying, Rachel. Like, it's like you're defending the position he has, but then still saying you have a problem with him saying it. So Van Lathan steps in to try to bring some type of reason to this conversation, because it does feel like right now Rachel is gonna hold on. Hey, bruh, if Black Twitter is upset, I gotta be upset too.
Okay. So I'm gonna choose to view this in the most charitable way possible, and that's because, which is the whole point.
It's just a problem to me.
Well, it's not a to me. It's not a problem. Like to me, being charitable culturally is not a problem. It's like what you should do. It's essentially like what you're talking about. You're talking about chances, giving chances. What we have to spend with each other is solidarity. That's our greatest wealth. Our greatest wealth as Black people is solidarity. That's the number one form of riches that we have. It's the fact that we care about each other. There is no form of payment that means more than that for us. Yeah. Because the wealth that we should have had in this country was systemically stolen from us.
Facts.
We were burned out of it. We were swindled out of it. And we didn't have access to it in the first place because of our enslavement. So the riches that you give to other people as Black people is your love and support. That's the number one form of riches that we have. And sometimes you have to support people in the idea of what they want to be. You have to support where they want to go. Yeah. And you can't just support what they are. Because if you just would have supported Jeff Bezos in 1992, you'd have been supporting somebody in their garage with a telephone and a printed out Amazon sign in the back that say they want to sell books to the entire world. And it doesn't seem like you're going to make your money back in supporting that. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to be Jeff Bezos, and I'm not saying that you don't need to have clean restaurants. I'm not saying that you don't need to do. What I am saying, though, is the fact that we don't have the same resources to support each other, by and large, that other groups do. The number one way we can support each other is with support.
Amazon isn't on pace to be the first $1 trillion company because they started off on shaky foundation, or they started off with bad customer service, or they started off with a bad product. No, Amazon, even from their very conception, they at least started off with a product that people wanted, with a product that people...
And I watched and that's a fact, because I just watched a documentary about like all the billionaires and millionaires, like from back then all the way to now. And he was the creator of Amazon. He was one of the people in there. And one thing that he said that he focused on when he first started was he wanted to make sure he focused a majority of his attention to the customer service. Like that was like his main focus. It was other things too though, but his main focus was his niche right there. Like we're gonna focus on customer service straight out the gate. So that goes back to like what Wallo was saying. Like, yeah, we don't have the best resources, but if you're doing your best, and also it's so many ways to get resources nowadays. It's just sometimes people ain't looking in the right places. Instead of going down to your local area to get your, you know what I'm saying, products, whatever the case is, you could try looking online. Find stuff overseas. Like we got Google. It's so many avenues. All you have to do is look for it. It's out there though. That's all you got to do, you know? Because I feel like in today's time, we're in a better space and we have more resources than we've had in the past. I'm not saying that we got it like these other races when it comes to business, because they do get the upper hand on us, you know? But I won't say that we don't. I would say we have way more resources in our reach and available to us more than we had back then, especially now in the digital age.
People thought was good enough to give their money to. But again, there are Black-owned businesses who has that foundation. Wallo was saying, from my perspective, yo, we should focus on the Black-owned businesses who are giving us a product that's worth paying for, who is giving us their all. Even from the very beginning, they are giving us the good customer service. They are giving us quality, right? They're giving us something that we feel good about giving our money to. The other ones that aren't, leave them in the dust. But yeah, bro, I'm sure if Amazon started off shaky with bad customer service, if Amazon started off not producing, bro, them folks wouldn't have supported Amazon. And again, I'm not talking about the initial investor. I'm talking about the, like the customers, right? The people who who made Amazon profitable.
Shut up, nigga.
They wouldn't have supported Amazon if Amazon started off as a very shaky business. So all Wallo is saying, bro, is, yo, just because you're black don't mean that you are entitled to my dollars, bro, all right, or my support. But y'all let me know in the comment section. Man, what do you guys think, man? It's always love to Van Lathan and Rachel, man. I appreciate y'all podcast, bro. I watch it every week, man. So y'all let me know in the comments.
Yeah, man. And with that being said, too, cause y'all can't even see me. Oh, there we go. I'm about to get this. I gotta get it back right. Hold on. Got my little stick to put it back in focus. All right, there we go. We good. Somebody named Love the Snapper says, shut up. Nigga, you shut your dumb ass up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, troll ass nigga. Love the Snapper. Show ass up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Can't ban a chat owner or chat or moderator. Put you on timeout, bitch. Your mama, nigga. But anyway, make sure y'all go ahead, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, man. Yeah, and I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one. I'm gone.
Every day it's like I feel more pressure, give more effort. Bill steady rolling in the due day crept up. Feel like I'm next up, life gon' test ya. My range close, aim, know the boy a heavy stepper. Things change, rearrange, ain't no crime body. Heart is weaving through the smoke, got my vision cloudy. Heavy stress on my brain, ain't no way around it. Navy SEAL when I flow, no you can't drown me. No brakes, all gas, get my weight up. A nigga on the road, fell asleep tryna stay up. Post-dramatic, a lot would say you too dramatic. The loudest one in the room, never want the static. Crazy how the niggas getting money turned into addicts. Never had the same habit, cut from a different fabric. Yeah, dropping classic after classic. My life on the beat, that's a real nigga passion. Hold up, wait up, why they playing with a nigga? Hold up, wait up, why they